Welcome into the Analyst in the Armchair, an NFL podcast where one host is obsessed with stats and spreadsheets, and the other just really loves yelling at the TV on game day and has plenty of opinions. Together, Michelle and Nycole dive into player news, weekly matchups, and all the storylines you'll be talking about with your friends. Whether you're a hardcore or casual football fan, they've got something for you.
Welcome into the Analyst and the Armchair. I'm the Analyst. I'm Michelle. This is Nycole. She's the Armchair part of the show. We have a fun show for you today. We are going to put every NFL team into a tier. We have 6 different tiers. We'll get into that a little bit later. We have some news and notes to discuss. Patrick Mahomes gets a big contract. Baker Mayfield's looking for a new contract. We have differing opinions because you're a hater on Baker. So we'll discuss that. And, you know, we're a little sad too.
Why would you do that?
We're a little sad about the Spurs. They should be up 3-1, but they're down 3-1.
Well, okay. It should at least be tied 2-2.
Yeah. Devastating game last night.
I literally had just gotten over it.
Okay. Are those tears in your eyes? All right. Well, we will talk about football to distract you. I'm sorry I had to bring it up, but
That's pretty rude. Yeah.
We would be wearing our Spurs stuff right now, I feel like, if they didn't have the most devastating game of all time last night.
Maybe.
I would have worn my Harper jersey.
Well, of course, but that was the bad juju you gave me for that game. So it's pretty much your fault anyway, because you decided to wear it on your 2 podcasts, not this one, yesterday.
Yeah. You gave me good luck game 3.
But did you wear them on your podcast game 3?
It was not Harper's fault that they lost last night.
Anyway.
It was the starter over Harper. All right, let's get into actual NFL talk. No more NBA, no more sadness. We're going to talk about guys who got paid and then get into our tiers.
The opening drive.
Patrick Mahomes finally gets a reworked deal. We knew it was going to come sooner or later, but it was definitely much more later than I ever assumed because he got paid back in 2020 and they gave him a monster contract. Don't get me wrong. It was 10 years, $450 million, right? It was like this insane contract we've never seen. But then at that point, it was like a few years later and he was getting outbeat by all of these quarterbacks.
Right.
At this point, this offseason, he was the 13th highest paid quarterback in average per year.
Yeah.
So it was time, but now he is by far the most paid quarterback, making $64 million a year. Only one other quarterback's making over $55 million a year, Dak Prescott, who got way overpaid too for $60 million a year.
Right.
But so, yeah, he's making $9 more million a year than Josh Allen now.
Yeah, and I know you can't like base that off of 1 year, right? You have to like base that off of like the longevity of the player and how good they're gonna be, and you want to try to get them technically for less than they're going to produce for you, right? And all those factors go into it. But $64 million after the year he had and coming off an injury, that feels a little crazy to me.
Yeah, a lot of it's fully guaranteed. The whole first 4 years are, and then there's a lot of guarantees after that too. But I mean, I don't think they're going to regret it, right? Patrick Mahomes is still going to be Patrick Mahomes.
Maybe.
And it'll be perfectly fine. But he finally, he was on that discount for a while. The worry with that team, and we're going to get to them when we do the tiers, is that they've been starting to dwindle on their depth, on their talent, and now it's not going to get any easier to find guys when you're paying Mahomes that much. But Baker Mayfield is a quarterback that has not got a reworked contract yet, and he has 1 year left on his contract with the Buccaneers, and he wants to be paid now before he's a free agent next year. What are your thoughts? Because if he gets paid now, it's most likely to be in that $50 million range, $55 million maybe. Let me give you the guys who are making $55 million a year.
Okay.
And then I'll tell you I'll ask you if you think they should pay him. So Matthew Stafford, $55 a year, which is just really this year. Trevor Lawrence, $55 million a year. Jordan Love, $55 million a year. Josh Allen, $55. Joe Burrow, $55. Then you got Brock Purdy at $53 a year, Jared Goff at $53, Justin Herbert at $52.5, Lamar Jackson at $52, but he's about to get an extension. That's going to be probably upwards of what Mahomes is making. Jalen Hurts, $51 a year. Deshaun Watson, $46 a year.
Oh my God. It's embarrassing. So what are you asking me?
If you were the Buccaneers, would you pay Baker Mayfield $50 million a year?
Yes.
thought you were going to say no.
Well, when you put it in those terms, 50 seems like market.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't pay him 60.
No, and he's not going to get 60.
But 50 seems right for his production and what he gives to that team. Now, do I think they need to think about what else they need on that team? Sure. So I wouldn't go crazy with it, because if he has no one else on the team, it doesn't matter what you pay him. Yeah. They're not going to win. Mm-hmm. So yes to 50, maybe to 55, no to 60.
Yeah, I think Baker is one of those guys that they need to pay. He's a locker room guy too. Don't drag it out this offseason. He needs to be there. And what are they without him? Like, if they didn't have him this year, like, they'd be one of the worst teams in the league. Baker is, I think he's the most underrated quarterback. Like, the fact that Trevor Lawrence gets all this love. They're like, yeah, we would pay him. He's like, why wouldn't he be paid? Because he's done nothing.
Do they though? Do people love Trevor Lawrence? Because I feel the same way. I feel the exact same way that I feel about Trevor Lawrence is how I feel about Baker Mayfield.
And I think if you ask most people today, if you'd rather pay, or if you would rather have Trevor Lawrence or Baker Mayfield as your franchise quarterback, almost everyone would say Trevor Lawrence. And I think, why? What has he shown you at all?
See, I don't agree with that. I don't think people would say that.
Well, they shouldn't say it.
But I don't think they would.
Okay.
So therefore,
would you rather have Jordan Love or Baker? Mine's so easily Baker.
Well, obviously, I do think I would choose Baker over Jordan Love. I don't really know why.
And I love Brock Purdy, but I think tangibles wise, like the skill set wise. I don't know, like the big arm, the
tangibly.
Yeah,
that's not even.
I do think Baker has more of that than Purdy. I think if you put Baker Mayfield with Kyle Shanahan, it would be brilliant, just like it is with Brock Purdy. I'm not saying Purdy's only good because Shanahan, but
yeah, I guess
Baker's now this is going to be his 9th different offense coordinator in 9 NFL seasons. It's the most by any quarterback in NFL history over the first 9 years to be a starting quarterback.
Right.
Like,
yeah,
dude just keeps doing it with different guy.
Well, keeps doing it in the sense that, like, wins some games.
He has the second most touchdowns in the league, passing touchdowns in the league since joining the Buccaneers 3 years ago.
But what does that translate to?
It's not his fault. His defense stinks.
I'm just saying. Like, you can have the best quarterback with
So you don't think the Bengals should have paid Joe Burrow?
Joe Burrow?
Well, you just said,
like,
what is
17 people on offense to throw the ball to.
You just said, what does it translate to?
Exactly. What does it translate to? You're just thinking of the defense. I'm thinking of the offense as well.
I love Emeka Egbuka. I think he's going to be great. Anyways, moving on. Talking about a couple good quarterbacks there in Mahomes and Baker. Unfortunately, the Browns do not have Baker anymore because they threw him out for Deshaun Watson. And now they're in the situation where they're trying to decide between Shedeur Sanders or Deshaun Watson to be their starter this year. And Deshaun Watson was not able to put his name in ink to be the starter this season in minicamp. They're not going to decide until training camp. So,
and the man hasn't played football in how long?
A year and a half.
Yeah, it's
but if he can't beat out Shedeur Sanders yet, like, what are we doing?
It's embarrassing.
What are we doing?
What else are they going to do? They're paying him.
I mean, yeah, that's what you would think, that he would be the starter. Like, just name him the starter. But he can't even win that job yet. Like, What are you doing? You have all the money on your side. You have the experience on your side. You have I just spit because I'm so upset. You have the skill set on your side. Like, I don't understand what's happening. Like,
clearly he's trash.
I guess. Man, he fell apart.
Yeah, he's
yikes.
Yikes is right.
And then another yikes news that I feel like the Colts just try to throw out there yesterday during the day. Alec Pierce underwent ankle surgery, I guess, in late April. And apparently it's a 4 to 6 month recovery. They're like, oh, he'll be back in training camp. He'll be fine. Well, late April, that means late May, late June, late July, late August, get you 4 months, which is the earliest part of the recovery. Late August is the end of training camp. And then what if it's the 6 months? Then you're missing the first 2 months of the regular season.
Yeah.
This man just got paid. You traded away Michael Pittman Jr. You have no one else. Like, Josh Downs is a fine 3, and now he has to be a 2. Cannot be a 1.
Well, it's interesting because they didn't, in the offseason, we talked a lot about him being traded. Mm-hmm. And then we were a little bummed when he re-signed with the Colts.
Yeah, because we thought maybe he might sign in free agency with like a a different team and leave. Yeah.
Right. And so maybe it's because they couldn't trade him because he had some kind of ankle injury.
Well, he was a free agent and they decided to re-sign him.
Oh.
He could have went anywhere.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But still, I don't remember him getting like hurt or
apparently
maybe they were just like,
well,
we don't know about the beginning of the season anyway. Go do this to get better.
So apparently right after the season, he got shot in his ankle to try to, so he didn't have to have surgery. That was his goal. He was kind of playing through this injury, I guess, all year long. He got the shot. And he was like trying to avoid the surgery. And then in April, his doctor was like, it's not working. We just have to do it. But he should have just done it then right after the season.
Well, yeah.
So it was after the surgery ended up happening after he got paid. So I'm sure the Colts were like, and after Michael Pittman got traded. So that's a whole issue in itself. And now, like, I've been down on the Colts so hard this offseason. This is only further. Like, you can be as optimistic as you want that you're going to be ready to go and ready. But if 4 months is the earliest recovery, then you have to get back into football shape.
Right.
Like your ankle, you're not running. Like, it's not like your arm where you can still stay in shape and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Guess we're going to see. But that's a bummer.
Yeah, it is a bummer. All right. We're going to get into our fun game here. And we're going to go team by team and tell you which tier we're going to put them in. Now, we have 6 different tiers. We have, is this team a Super Bowl contender? And then we're getting close there, too, because we're not just doing Super Bowl contender, but also conference championship contender. So are you just almost at Super Bowl, but not? Then we have playoff contender, playoff team, but you'll probably not make a deep run. Then we have a fringe playoff team where they're fighting for a playoff spot, bad teams, and disaster teams. So your team is going to be placed into one of these tiers. We might not agree on all of them, but it'll be a fun time.
Yeah.
Between the 20s.
We're going through all 32 teams. Ready? Just going to randomly start at one division. I'm going with the AFC West. Let's start with the Denver Broncos. Are you putting them as Super Bowl contender this year? Again, I don't care what they did last year. I mean, obviously that's part of it. But Super Bowl contender for this year or conference championship playoff team?
I think they are the third tier is what I'm going with. And that's playoff team contender. We'll be in the playoffs. We'll play and lose and not make it to the championship.
Yeah. And people are going to be like, well, they made it to the championship game last year. It just felt like such a down year for the AFC.
It was a weird fluke, it felt like.
Bo Nix and that offense is not good enough. Their defense is great. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm putting them in the playoff team. They can win maybe a wild card round, but that's where I'm ending it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we agree there.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Just first time for everything.
Yeah. Los Angeles Chargers.
I'm so tempted to put them in fringe playoff team.
Oh, man.
I know it's going to make you mad because you're going to put them at least playoff team contender. Yeah, I'm going fringe.
Fringe playoff team. You have no hope in this team.
They're probably a playoff team, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
I just like to ruffle your feathers sometimes.
I'm putting it as conference championship contenders.
Oh. No, I'm not like, let me caveat all my answers by not being like, this is not mathematical.
Yeah.
Like, I might accidentally not choose a team to be in the conference championship accidentally.
Oh, yeah. We can put them in. It's just what you're feeling.
I know, but I'm just saying for the people that are keeping record, it's not like I went through and was like, this is going to be where this person and mathematically this is where they'll fall. I'm just shooting from the hip over.
Oh, I just wanted your honest opinion.
Okay.
I don't want you to think too much about it.
Yeah, okay, great. Playoff team contender.
Yeah, I'm doing conference championship. I'm really excited about Mike McDaniel being there as an OC. Really excited about this offensive line upgrades and the guys are getting back from injury. And I'm really excited about Omarion Hampton. And I think the defense is going to be top 12. So, conference championship.
Okay.
But this is what happens every year with these Chargers. And they disappoint us.
Well, and then they make the playoffs and they lose first round.
Yeah.
Similar to another team I know.
Oh, shush.
Black and yellow, black and yellow.
Can't wait to see where you have them. All right, Kansas City Chiefs. And this might be the hardest one.
Really?
Yes. Because I feel like when you hear Kansas City Chiefs, you're like, well, Super Bowl contender, duh. They went.
Oh, I say fringe playoff team.
Okay. So just one bad year.
Is that wild?
Just one bad year.
To be fair, they made some really good moves, I think, in the offseason. I think, is it Gainwell they got?
No,
it's
the
Walker.
Buccaneers got. Yeah, they got Kenneth Walker.
Mm-hmm. I think that could be huge for them.
Yeah.
I really do. But I think in the AFC, I'm not convinced that they're just a shoo-in. I'm going I'm going Fringe Playoff Team.
That's what I want to say too, because they went 6-11 last year. It was terrible. Yeah, Mahomes coming off the ACL. They don't really have the weapons. I mean,
yes,
they didn't change anything about their weapons. They lost a couple.
So what are you putting them as?
I'm trying to think. They lost their backfield. They lost their corners. Both are starting. They did bring back L'Jarius Sneed. Oh, I so bad want to put Fringe too. I'm going to put them as a playoff team this year.
Okay.
But not a conference championship or Super Bowl contender.
Okay.
The issue is anytime Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, like when you've seen it happen over and over and over again, it's hard not to say.
Yeah, but last year was the first time you were like, wow, they're a little trash.
Yeah, they were.
And I think they're going to be a little trash again.
And it wasn't even the first time, because the year before, I was like, wow, they're a little trash. And then they win the stupid Super Bowl.
I know.
Or did they?
No.
They lost it.
They got
murdered in the Super Bowl. Yeah. Well, still, they made it to the Super Bowl.
But other teams in the AFC have done a lot more than I think the Kansas City Chiefs have. So that I think they're a fringe playoff team.
All right. I'm going playoff team there.
Cool.
And then the Las Vegas Raiders. Where you got them? It's obviously going to be in the bottom three. Fringe playoff team, bad team, disaster team.
I think they're going to be a bad team. I think they have so many new players and new things going on. I think they've got a lot of good that they've got, like, opportunities. Don't think they're going to be close to playoffs. I don't think they're going to be a disaster like they were last year. I think they were much more of a disaster than anybody knew they would be last year. I think they will be a bad team, at least for another year.
Yeah, I think like their max this year would be 8 wins. And when you're in this division, you're not going to get close to the playoffs
100%.
with 8 wins. So I'm going to put them with bad teams still. I will not, like 6 to 8 wins is kind of where I have them. They'll be better than like last year. They're a disaster. They're going up.
Yeah.
A bad team.
100%. Yeah.
So there's some positives there.
Totally.
All right, let's go to the AFC South with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm putting them as a fringe playoff team. I think they got worse in huge areas this year. And the big players that they lost, they're backfilling with players they already had on the team that they didn't think should be starters last year or have a big impact or have a lot of playing time. So, and Trevor Lawrence just played really, really well the second half. I think that can come down. So fringe playoff team for me.
I agree with you. I'm going to say fringe playoff team with a leaning towards a bad team.
Whoa.
I think.
See, I was calling fringe leaning towards playoff.
See, and I'm doing the opposite because, again, I think I'm still so confused by their running back situation in Jacksonville.
Well, they're talking up baseball too, and like no other.
You should, because that's all you've got going on. Yeah. I mean,
they're like, he's the most explosive guy on your team.
He's the only guy on your team. Yeah. So I don't feel good about that. I think they're either going to be right there at playoffs or bad.
Wow.
So I don't even want to say fringe because they're either going to be playoff or bad.
I do really like their wide receiver group. So that's why I'm still keeping them. Like I think Brian Thomas Jr. is going to be better. I like Jacoby Myers. I like Parker Washington.
Do you think Trevor's going to do it again this year? I mean, he was better last year than anybody ever gave him credit for or thought he would be.
Well, no, they all thought he was going to be the next Peyton Manning. He finally showed that he could be a capable starting quarterback last year.
But that's how many years into the league. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Do you think that was a fluke last year? Or do you think he's like, okay, he finally has come into his own. He figured out, I can run with the ball a little bit. I
think Liam Cohen's huge for him as the head coach. I don't know if he can do it consistently. In the running game, and the defense is going to, I think the defense is going to take a pretty big fall.
Yeah.
So, fringe playoff team.
I like it.
We're a little bit different there. Now, let's see if you could be unbiased here with your Houston Texans. Where do you have the Houston Texans for next year?
I think Houston wins the division, which makes them a playoff team. And that's all I'm going to say.
You're not going further than that? Just playoff team?
Okay. My unbiased is playoff team. My biased is conference championship.
Yeah. I have them conference championship.
Okay.
They should have. CJ Stroud just needs to not be the most atrocious quarterback of all time during that game. And they get to the conference championship last year.
I agree.
And their defense is still looking amazing. They bring in Reed Blankenship too to add to the safety group. And they still have all these amazing players on offense. I have to believe CJ Stroud can get his head on straight and not just completely blow up like he did in these playoffs.
Agreed.
Well.
And they have a running back now.
Now, he did have to face really, really hard defenses in the playoffs.
Sure.
Like playing the Broncos defense is no joke.
And they figured out some offensive line stuff. Defense and defensive line are solid. Yeah. So I agree with you. I think
way better running game.
I think they're definitely a contender for the championship game.
And honestly, the David Montgomery thing's huge too. Because if it's going back in with Woody Marks, it's like, okay, then it's everything's on CJ Stroud's shoulder. But having a veteran like David Montgomery back there is going to be huge.
Yeah. I like it. You've convinced
conference championship
to just call it, to name Texans. It and claim it.
Yeah. They could be, they're close to the Super Bowl contender. That's the first team we've talked about that was the closest to be a Super Bowl contender.
Easy. Yeah.
Indianapolis Colts, bad team is where I'm putting them. I don't even think they're close to making the playoffs next year. I
think
it'd be close to a disaster team, but I'll put bad team.
I agree with you. I think they're going to be a bad team. I think there's too many question marks right now with Daniel Jones, Alec Pierce, apparently, right? And some other options that
I think Jonathan Taylor is the only thing that keeps them from being a disaster team.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. Disaster. Or bad, but close to disaster. Like if I had to pick one playoff team or disaster, I'm going close to disaster to playoff team.
Yeah.
And then the Titans. I so badly want to say fringe playoff team.
Ooh. As opposed to bad team?
Yeah. I love the moves they made this year.
Agreed. Do they need one more year though?
I think so. I wish there was a middle, like a team, or not even a promising. We should have had like a promising team category.
You made it up.
I know.
I feel like a promising team is a fringe playoff team.
I'm going to put them as fringe playoff team.
Wow.
I really like the moves they made. If Cam Ward has to take that step forward, but I think he will with Brian Daboll. I think Robert Saleh always gets the best out of his defense, no matter who he has out there. I'm going fringe playoff team. I don't actually think they're going to make the playoffs. I think they'll be fighting for a spot later in the season than we would have thought.
Yeah. I think and now I'm going to do the AFC math. I'm going to say bad team with the thought that they won 3 games last year. And I think they're going to win 7 or 8 this year at least.
Okay.
So I'm going bad team, but with that as the parameter for bad team.
Yeah.
Because I think they easily get double, if not triple, better than they were.
Yeah.
3 times is probably the better way to say that. But I don't think if in the AFC they have enough to get close to like maybe playoffs.
Yeah. I think they'll be like a 8-9 seed. So obviously you have to be top 7.
Right.
So that's why I'm having them fringe. All right. That is it for the AFC South. Moving to the AFC North, we'll start with the Steelers, who won the division last year at 10-7. I'm going to let you go first, and then I'll do my answer.
The Pittsburgh Steelers are a fringe playoff team.
Okay.
In like leaning towards, like where I have Tennessee leaning towards bad team / in the bad team category, I have the Steelers leaning towards playoff contender. They're not going to make conference championship. No. They're probably going to lose in the first round like they always do. And that's going to be that.
I think that's perfect. I think that's logical. I thought you were going to be meaner. I thought you were going to say bad team.
No, I'd love to. But I do think in the offseason they made a couple good moves that I really liked that I hate to say out loud, only because Aaron Rodgers is still there and they're your team. So I have to poke at you.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's exactly where I have them. It's going to be really, really close to fight for that last playoff spot, or if it's not the last playoff spot, that means the division's terrible again, and they're fighting for, that division win at 9-10 wins like last year. But I do think the Ravens are going to be much better, and the Bengals. So I think they'll be fighting for that 7th seed, and if they end up getting it, they'll get demolished by a team like the Bills or something like that.
Yep.
As always.
Totally.
That's pretty, it's easy to do them because they do the same thing every year.
Right. Like and I have so many thoughts, like as a fan, would you rather them just be terrible for 8 years?
I would. Oh, 8 years?
Whatever it is. However much time it takes to
2 years.
Okay. However long it takes to rebuild a team and a franchise to then actually contend in the playoffs rather than we're mediocre all the time.
Oh no, that's the worst place to be. Right in the middle is the worst place to be for a team. And it's where the Steelers
But that's
have been
where
for the
y'all
last decade.
live.
They've
Yeah.
not won a playoff game in a decade.
I know.
No, I would love to. I mean, just play Will Howard all year and go get that early pick for. It's supposed to be a really, really good 2027 quarterback class. Even though Arch Manning still talked about at the top of that class or one of them, and I'm like, did you guys watch him?
Like, have you seen Texas play when he
can't
plays
throw
more
a
than
ball.
one play?
He cannot throw a ball. It's wild.
Yeah,
His best plays by far with his legs.
It's terrifying. It's
yeah, and he always throws it with that sidearm.
Well,
and it's
remember
just like,
when
what are you doing?
Quinn Ewers was out, and then they'd be like, "Oh, Josh,"
Yeah.
and he'd come out for the one play. You're like, "Wow!" And then he actually started, and you're like, "Oh my god!" It's like when you have never seen a man throw a ball, and then he picks up a ball and he kind of does this, and you're like,
You're like, I can't date you anymore.
100%. That's how I felt about Arch coming out there.
No, I was shocked with how bad Arch Manning was. I was more excited than anybody else for him to be the starter.
Totally.
It was not good.
So
we'll see if he can take the largest jump ever next year.
I hope so.
If he's being talked up at
for the
top
sake of the
class,
family name,
then I'm like, what are these other quarterbacks like? But
I know.
Anyways, Baltimore Ravens. This is a hard one because it's between Super Bowl contender or AFC Championship contender for me. And I'm going to stick with AFC Championship contender because of all the changes. A lot of change, a lot of unknowns. Lamar Jackson has never shown that he can be trusted in a playoff game.
Mhm.
And I don't think they have enough weapons for him either. And Derrick Henry's getting older. I think he's going to get worse. So
Agreed.
I still think their defense is going to be plenty good enough for the AFC Championship contender.
I agree. I have them in that exact same spot, with the caveat that they could go either way because there are so many unknowns. I think at this point, last year they were definitely worse than I thought they would be. I do think some of the changes they made were good, and then some were like their defense is solid, right? That's not a concern. Derrick Henry getting older, the offensive weapons options. I'm very much on the fence about playoff contender or championship.
Yeah. And that's pretty much outside of last year, or just kind of all fell apart. It's like, you're not surprised if the Ravens lose in the divisional round or they made it to the championship. No, it'd be more surprising if they actually made it to the Super Bowl,
Yeah, I don't have them slotted to go to the Super Bowl.
Even though I do love the hire of Jesse Minter, and with that defense, he could be like that Seahawks defense of last year. He could turn that team into that.
Mm-hmm.
And then like Lamar Jackson's good enough to bring them to the Super Bowl. It's just like, you got to play those games in the playoffs like you do in the regular season, sir.
Right.
So we still don't have a Super Bowl contender yet for the AFC. And there's not a lot of teams like I feel really confident in. The Bengals, they're not going to be a Super Bowl contender because as much as I like the moves on defense, the few moves they made, and they'll be a better team, I can't put them Super Bowl contender.
Mm-hmm.
Can you put them AFC Championship contender?
No.
Playoff
team / fringe playoff team.
/ fringe.
Because last year they went 6-11.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, they're going to be better than that.
Joe Burrow missed a ton of time.
Totally. But the offensive weapons are stellar. Great. That's all good to go. Their defense is the biggest question mark. It's going to depend on some of these other teams that are question marks. What happens with them?
I think they're going to be a 10-win team this year.
Okay.
So I have them as a playoff team, but I don't think their defense, like Joe Burrow and the offense, is going to have to put up 40 points in the playoffs for them to make the AFC Championship. So in that case, the probability to me falls more into playoff team, but we'll lose early on.
Well, it's going to be like Dallas last year, right? Like their defense was so atrocious. They had to score so many points to win games, and they just couldn't withstand.
I don't think the Bengals, well, that was the Bengals last year, right? The Cowboys and Bengals were pretty much the same last year.
Yeah.
I do think both teams got much better on defense. I actually think the Cowboys did better at fixing up their defense.
Mm-hmm.
But if the Bengals could be like, what if I said they had the 15th best defense or 16th best defense, right in the middle? Where would you put them?
Then I would put them in the same place I'd put Baltimore.
Whoa. Okay.
Right? Because I think Baltimore's defense is probably what, 10?
It can be top 5.
Oh, woof. Okay.
I think it can be top 5.
All right. I'd probably put it a little lower, but higher? Lower? How would I say that properly? Lower. But anyway, I think the offense is so solid for the Bengals, though, that is not a question mark to me. Whereas with Baltimore, it's like the offense is the big question mark.
Yeah, that's fair.
So,
all right, and then the Browns.
Disaster team.
I mean, I'm sorry. Maybe Prue was so wrong, or maybe all these young guys. I love Harold Tannen Jr., like Quinshon Junkins. You have some good young guys. You don't have a quarterback. You traded away Myles Garrett, and you only hired Todd Monken to be a scapegoat. Sorry, Todd Monken.
Well, he's getting his shot, sadly, for him, because he has no shot because of this team.
Yeah.
Cleveland's going to be a disaster. Yeah. They won 5 games last year. I think maybe they win 2.
The fact that they only won...
Is that wild?
They only lost 1 more game than the Bengals is crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Only lost 1 more game than the Chiefs.
I mean, their defense was stellar, though, at home.
And then they lost their defensive coordinator, Jim Schwartz, who's been so good.
Right.
But because they didn't hire him as head coach.
Right.
So they lost the only 2 good parts of their team, basically.
Myles Garrett
and Jim Schwartz gone. I like the young wide receivers they brought in, but it's not going to do enough. And they have a brand new offensive line. Disaster, for sure. Going to more disaster teams. Why don't we just get them over with? The Jets and the Dolphins.
Disasters.
I mean, sorry, Dolphins. You gave away everybody. You have nothing. And I don't care what they say in the reports. Malik Willis is getting more comfortable in the offense. It doesn't matter what they say in minicamp. That means that the offense was looking so bad that they have to come out and say, well, it's looking better now.
It doesn't even matter. Who's he going to get the ball to?
He doesn't have anybody.
Right. So it doesn't even matter if he looks good.
Yeah.
To do what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they have no one on defense. So it's both sides of the ball.
Yes.
And I'm not inspired by Jeff Hafley being their head coach. Another guy who, why would you take that job? Just stay as a defensive coordinator with the Packers when we're here. Find a better job.
Yeah.
These guys who ruin their chances.
Yeah.
And then the Jets, they're the Jets. It's been going on for 15 years now. Signing Geno Smith isn't it?
Okay, they're a disaster.
Yeah.
Do they win or lose more games? They won 3 last year.
The Jets, I think they can win 5 but still be a disaster. I think the Dolphins will win 3 or 4 max. 3 max.
Wow.
I think they're going to be the worst team in the league.
Okay.
By far.
Yeah.
All right. Now we have 2 harder ones. The Patriots. We'll go there first because the Bills, I actually don't think it's that hard. Patriots is a hard one because they made it to the Super Bowl last year. Really easy schedule. We saw the play kind of decline from that offense in the playoffs and harder teams, but now Drake May comes into his 2nd year as a full-time starter, gets A.J. Brown. We don't know how the Mike Vrabel stuff will affect the team.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like it's quieting down in that front.
Yeah.
Where are you going with the Patriots? Are they still Super Bowl contenders?
I think the Patriots take a big step back. They will be in the playoffs. They will lose and look normal, and everybody will be like, see, they had an easy schedule last year. So even though I think fundamentally they will get better, their record and what they do with that will look worse, if that makes sense.
I was with you for a while this offseason on that take.
Okay.
I'm starting to get hotter on the Patriots. I'm going to put them as a Super Bowl contender.
Okay.
This A.J. Brown trade, I think, is huge. I think A.J. Brown's going to have the best year of his career, over 1,500 yards, maybe 12 touchdowns. I think he's going to have a monster season.
Okay.
I think Travion Henderson's going to have a monster season. I think they've been, they fixed up the line a little bit. It was pretty bad for Drake May, and it didn't seem to affect him at all. And it is going to come down to Mike Vrabel and where's his head at. That could be the biggest influence, but the defense should still be very good.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to put them as Super Bowl contender still.
Okay.
So that means my 2 Super Bowl contenders are in the same division because the Bills are a Super Bowl contender for me. I'll say it every year. I know they keep never getting there, but they have it. It's just like they lose in the most irritating ways of all time in the playoffs. They're the Spurs. I'm so sorry. It was right there.
What? The team that has 5 championships in the last 3 decades, you're going to say gets there and can't win?
I just mean lately the Bills have been playing like the Spurs like they did yesterday. So I meant like the most irritating ways to lose.
The youngest team in finals history? Is that the
It's one
thing?
of them. It's one of the youngest teams.
What? No. That was a
Okay.
good try, but no. I think the Bills. Did I pick anyone to go to the Super Bowl? I didn't.
You have to pick the Bills to go to the Super Bowl.
I don't want to.
Okay, then don't.
But then that means, see, this is where I'm saying I didn't math this because I didn't pick anyone.
Because you don't feel strongly about any AFC team.
I really don't.
Then that could just
Because the Bills, I don't feel like did anything in the offseason.
traded for DJ Moore. They got Bradley Chubb. They changed out their head coach.
I think that's going to leave them in the same place they were, quite frankly.
Okay.
I don't.
But the same place they were is a good enough team to get to the Super Bowl.
Oh, I agree with you.
They just keep making, like, they just keep losing in the most devastating
I know,
ways
and somebody's
ever.
got to get there. All right. I'm going to put the Bills. I'm going to put the Bills at Super Bowl contending /
No,
AFC
just say Super Bowl
Championship.
contending. You can't keep doing the slashes. It's a tier. You got to pick the tier.
All right, Super Bowl contending.
Okay. And honestly, I think that's why they moved on from Sean McDermott, because it's like, how is your defense keep letting us down over and over and over again in the most devastating ways in the playoffs? Like, I think
That's
that could be the
fair.
difference.
That's fair. Okay, then I go back and I change Houston to Super Bowl contending
Okay.
instead of playoff / AFC
Okay.
Championship contending.
Okay. Super Bowl contender and I picked them AFC Championship, right?
Yeah.
If you told me CJ Stroud could play as a top 12 quarterback in the league next year,
Mhm.
easy Super Bowl contender.
Yeah.
Easy.
It's just my team, so I get nervous being like, they're going to be at this
Yeah.
stage because I don't like to do that.
Yeah.
But I do think they could.
I think from doing this throughout the AFC is we're saying the AFC's wide open. I mean,
Yeah.
there's not a team that you're like, or teams that where you're like, wow, they're perfect all around.
Right.
Like there is one in the NFC. It feels like.
Yeah, we'll
And-
get to that.
yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you. I think the AFC it's spread out enough that, like, you're right. There are some really good teams. There are a few really bad teams, and a really big mix of could win 8 games, could win 12 games.
Yeah. We did not have enough bad teams in the AFC. A lot of like a handful of disaster, and then a lot of the playoff fringe. But bad with like those 5 to 7 win teams, we didn't have many of.
I had a couple.
Yeah, we
But-
had a couple.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the NFC. Here we'll start with the NFC East with the Philadelphia Eagles. They are the most confusing team of all time. I feel like
They were the most confusing team last year because coming off, they had Super Bowl hangover
Mhm.
and they kept losing games that were like, why did you lose that game?
yeah.
They
Do we think it's
looked-
good for them that they lost? Like I said, AJ Brown's gonna be so good for the Patriots, but I also feel like it's not a bad thing for the Eagles to move on from him. Get Mekhi Lemon in there. It's not like they just have this massive hole. They got a really good wide receiver in this draft.
Right. Yeah, I would say Philadelphia is a championship contender.
Okay. I don't hate it. I'm gonna go with playoff team.
Sure.
I don't think they're gonna make a deep run. I don't think they're gonna make a deep run, but they do have a good defense, good solid defense. But their defensive line keeps getting worse and worse,
Mhm.
losing depth, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go and Jalen Hurts. I don't know. That goes back and forth.
I know.
Another new OC for him. You never know with the Nick Sirianni how he's gonna coach in a given year.
Yeah.
Can Saquon Barkley get back to his 2023 self or 2024 self?
24. Yeah. I mean, I hope so. I just don't know.
You can't. So I'm going with playoff team, but we'll lose. Dallas Cowboys. Are they a playoff team, fringe playoff team? Are you going higher than that?
No, I'm not going higher than that. I'm going to say playoff team.
Okay.
I want to go fringe playoff team,
That's where I'm going.
but I think they're going to be a little better than that.
I'm going fringe.
Okay.
Dak Prescott's gone through all this stuff personally with hauling off his wedding. Apparently he's losing all this weight because he's so anxious. Mental stuff can get to you, man. I mean, think about just your job when you're anxious or you just don't do as well.
Right.
And everything falls to Dak Prescott and this offense Because I like the moves they made on defense, but it's still going to be a mediocre defense at best. And this offense is going to have to kill it. And they don't really have depth. I mean, they have an amazing starting crew, but one of those guys goes down. It's not like they have anyone behind them to step in.
True.
It's like a monster fall after that. So I'm going to go Fringe playoff team. I think they'll be fighting for a spot. And I also have no faith in their head coach, Brian Schottenheimer. I don't know why they ever hired him. Washington Commanders. What's your biased opinion here?
I think they're going to be a fringe playoff team.
I'm going bad team.
/ bad team.
Yeah, I'm going bad team. I don't think they're going to be a disaster like last year. You get your Jaden Daniels hopefully back healthy. They just didn't do anything to give him any weapons. They have no running game. They had outside of Terry McLaurin, who's getting older, nothing.
I know.
And I love the defensive additions they made, but still, like they're going to be a brand new crew.
Yeah, I think they did. I think they did well on defense. I think they did nothing offensively.
Yeah.
So that's going to hurt us.
Now, I still think everyone still assumes if Brandon Ayuk plays this year, it will be with the Commanders. If Brandon Ayuk can be as how he played with the 49ers, that's going to be a huge get, and that could change some things.
Totally.
I also don't understand how in the world they only signed Rashad White at running back, and that was their solution. But Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, getting love in minicamp. Well, also just got injured, though, too. I missed a little bit. But
yeah, they're probably going to be a bad team. But I'm going to say fringe playoff team because that makes me feel better.
Okay. I'm going to go bad team.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the New York Giants, my favorite team this offseason, where I think they're going to take a big jump. But do I have them as like a playoff team or a fringe playoff team?
Tell us.
With all this Malik Neighbors stuff where it's like, is it going to be good? If not, you need another procedure and all this stuff, and he might not be ready to go. I'm going to still go with fringe playoff team.
Okay.
I think they're going to look much better. I love the coaching changes. Well, the head coaching change. Don't love the Matt Nagy hire at OC. I like a lot of the things they've done. I think they're going to be a fringe playoff team.
I think that's a good take. I'm going to take the stance of bad team.
Okay.
I think they need more time. Because, again, even as a bad team, I think that means they win 8 games. And that's double what they did last year. I know a lot has changed. But, man, I just think about this division. But
let's say they had 8 wins at, like, week 15. They're going to be a fringe playoff team then. And then they could lose a couple of games there at the end to not make it.
I guess that's true. I just have more teams. I have other teams. I guess, okay, fringe playoff team feels...
I just talked you into it.
I know. But it's, again, one of these big question marks. I think there are a handful of teams for me that are giant question marks, and there's certain teams that like they're going to be solid. Maybe they'll be great, but they'll be solid. And this is one of those teams that literally start of the season, we'd be like, look, all the things they did, the new coach, all this. And then they could be meh. And you could be like, why did that happen?
Yeah.
So, fringe playoff team.
Let's get to the toughest division, I think. The Chicago Bears. We got the NFC North with all 4 teams that, they were all right there last year. The Bears win the division at 11-6, Packers 9-7-1, Vikings 9-8, Lions 9-8. Where do you have the Bears this year?
I think the Bears take a step back in some respects.
But I think crazy games at the end.
Yeah. But I think their record is similar to what it was. I'm going to go playoff contenders. No more, no less.
I'm going to go fringe playoff team because they're in a really hard division. They're going to have a lot of hard matchups. They lost their entire safety crew, and they haven't done enough for me. And like last year, they just kept winning these insane games at the end.
Totally.
That's hard to keep
sustainable,
up.
Yep.
Green Bay Packers, fringe playoff team for me. They already were last year. They're 9-7-1.
Yeah.
And I don't think they got any better this year. If anything, they got worse.
I agree with that.
So
that's kind of an easy one.
Yeah, it is. Minnesota Vikings.
I think fringe.
We're just
I think at the end there, your defense was like, oh, are they getting it together? Right. And offensively, I think they're in a good spot going into this year. As opposed to, I mean, I know JJ McCarthy and they're gonna, battle for the starter. They're not. And I think that exponentially increases the Vikings odds.
It's a thing that's so hard for me to decide is like the Vikings defense the second half of last year were so stupid good. And it's not even like you look at the roster and you're like, well, yeah, that makes sense. It's like Brian Flores is just a brilliant play caller on defense. Kyler Murray, I do think will be much better than JJ McCarthy, and they did win, 9 games last year. I'm still going to put him at fringe too. I'm with you.
Yeah.
And then the Lions, I can't quit them. I'm going to put them as playoff team.
I would too. Okay. Just because I want them to be there. I think there's a little bit of that going on. And last year they just looked tired. I don't know another way to describe it. We joke about Jared Goff and how he can't play unless it's in a dome, but like he really couldn't. And so, but I think they've got enough, obviously, on offense. I think they have enough on defense. So there's no reason they shouldn't be in the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm with you. And Kirby Joseph, we have to see if he can come back as safety and be healthy. He's been dealing with just lingering injuries for a long time now. But if he can be back, I like that. All right, going on to the NFC West, to the Super Bowl champions, Seattle Seahawks. Are they Super Bowl contenders after winning last year? Are they NFC Championship Contenders playoff team? What you got?
I think they're contenders for the championship. I'm not going to go Super Bowl. I think with their running back situation, I don't feel good about just being like automatic Super Bowl. But their defense is stellar, as we know. We know what their offense is. I think they've lost more than they've gained in the offseason offensively. And so I'm going to put them at championship contenders.
I'm going to put them at fringe playoff team.
Whoa. That's probably our biggest discrepancy.
Yeah. I'm putting as fringe playoff team.
Whoa.
I think they leaned so much on that running game last year. They were a 50-50 team.
Gosh, you really hate Sam Darnold.
Yeah. And I think Clint Kubiak is one of the biggest losses of any team this offseason, losing him.
Yeah.
I think they're going to take a monster step back. Defense should still be solid. Will be fighting for a playoff spot, but I think that offense is going to take a huge, huge, huge leap back.
Okay. Wow.
So fringe playoff team there.
Wow. I mean, I like it. I like the bold choice there, but I think it's a little crazy, but nice.
Thanks. Los Angeles Rams.
Super Bowl contenders.
Easiest one to do. I mean, we would have already even put them here before the Myles Garrett trade. Like they would have been a Super Bowl contending team. I think they were the best team in the league last year, and how the NFL does it, 1 game elimination round. The best team doesn't always win the Super Bowl. Right. You don't have the series like you do in all the other sports. So I still like the Rams have only gotten better this year. Added to their cornerback room, added Myles Garrett. Absurd. The only thing that can hold this team back is if Stafford gets injured. And that you can say that about pretty much every team if their starting quarterback gets injured.
Totally. Yeah.
So, Super Bowl contenders, easiest one to say.
Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's probably not even a good bet at this point to say Rams will win the Super Bowl because they wouldn't make any money.
It's not worth it.
Yeah. So easy.
San Francisco 49ers.
I mean, they're also a championship contender, I think. Last year they went 12-5. God knows how, because everybody and their mother was hurt and they were on their 7th string folks, but they got it together. They kept them winning games. I think Mac Jones is a great backup for Brock Purdy. Hopefully they don't have to use him, right? And they can use him as leverage for, trades and such in the future. I think they're very much a contender in this conference and could be a Super Bowl contender. A lot of that's going to come down to who is Brock Purdy throwing the ball. Is Ricky Pearsall playing?
He's already hurt this season.
Of course he is, right? And then defensively, are Fred Warner and Nick Bosa good enough to be out there? Because if they are, great. This team on paper is great. But it's going to come down to all those factors.
Yeah, the depth on defense is definitely scary.
Mm-hmm.
And then counting on 33-year-old Mike Evans to stay healthy and perform. But like you said, 12-5 last year, and their top wide receivers were Juwan Jennings and DeMarcus Robinson and Kendrick Bourne.
And they were like, bye in the
Yeah.
offseason. That's how much they were like, guys.
And now it's Mike Evans, and hopefully Ricky Pearsall can stay healthy. And they brought in Christian Kirk, who's better than what they had last year. And
100%.
they spent their first pick in the second round, first pick of the draft, but the first pick in the second round on a wide receiver and Deshaun Stripling. So they definitely have better weapons. And George Kittle says he thinks he can be back by week 1.
So there's no reason, Christian McCaffrey, I think
He has 1 more year left in him. CMC.
I think so. I think he's going to be exhausted this year, though. I don't think he's going to be close to what he was last year because he literally carried that team. But I think he shouldn't have to carry them like he did last year because, to your point, all those guys should be able to carry some of that load. And with Brock Purdy out there, it's going to be good football. So, yeah, I think they definitely have a chance in this division easily.
And then the last one in this division, the Arizona Cardinals. Obviously, only two spots for them. And would you put them as bad team or disaster team?
I want to put them as disaster, but I think they're just going to be bad. They've got weapons. That's what's confusing about this team. But the quarterback situation, it's going to be sketchy. So I kind of go back and forth on them. I think they're going to be disaster. They might just be bad, but Jacoby Brissett, you have Marvin Harrison Jr., who should be better than he is. And then you've got Michael Wilson, who's great.
And then Jeremiah Love.
So they should be bad. That sounds like a compliment. Yeah. It is.
I'm going to put him as bad because the one thing that sucks for them is that Jacoby Brissett's their starting quarterback. Mm-hmm. I don't really think they had other options this year unless they stuck it out with Kyler Murray for 1 more year. But I'm fine with them waiting 1 more year. By a bad team, I think there might be a ton of losses, right? And might have one of the worst records in the league, but I think they'll be competitive in a lot of games.
Yeah. Is it going to be a Jeremiah Love? Is Jeremiah Love going to be the Ashton Genty of this year? Where it's exciting and then it's sad.
And then they have good young pieces on defense. Walter Nolan missed 11 games as a rookie. Loved him coming out of school. They have some young good pieces. So I think they can do okay. New coach. We'll see what Mike LaFleur can do.
Sure.
I'll put them as a bad team.
Okay.
Which is good. They're not a disaster.
Bad team is good team.
Yeah.
Just bad in this league.
Yeah. 1 more division to go. NFC South. Got the Carolina Panthers. I'm putting them as bad team. I have no faith in Bryce Young. And they lost Rico Dottle. They're talking of Jonathan Brooks like no other. But coming off back-to-back ACL tears, never playing the league, no. Their defense is solid, and they played pretty good last year, but still don't think it's going to be dominant enough to overcome it. Last year they were 8-9. So people being like,
and won the division.
Yeah, exactly. But I think this whole division's better this year too. I'm putting them as a bad team.
Okay. I'd say fringe playoff team.
Last year we had to see Bryce Young start at quarterback.
Yeah. I think it's going to depend on I think it depends a lot on these other 3 teams.
Yeah. Well, then let's go to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Fringe playoff team.
I'm putting them as a playoff team. I was looking at them and all their changes this year, and I actually really like the things they did. I love them taking Ruben Bain in the first round. He's going to be a baller. I think he's going to be so good at edge. They have the weapons they need on offense. And Makabuka, hopefully, is healthy. Hopefully, Bucky Irving is healthy. Remember, he missed a ton of time. Mm-hmm. I love the Kenneth Gainwell addition there for a little receiving back. Jalen McMillan missed the first 13 games last year with a neck issue. I think he's a very talented wide receiver. Chris Godwin was injured pretty much the entire year, coming off that ankle fracture and then just all the issues with that. And they had a lot of injuries to the offensive line. And I think they did make enough moves on defense to be better too. I think the Buccaneers can be a sneaky good team. Now, not a conference championship team, but playoff team where they can win maybe a wild card run.
Okay. I don't think so. I think there's way too many question marks there for me, but sure.
Okay. Well, Todd Bowles is the biggest one. And if they don't make the playoffs this year, please fire him. How does he still have a job?
Out of all the folks that lost their job
Todd Bowles is the most mediocre head coach of all time. Atlanta Falcons. They have a new head coach. The quarterbacks is either going to be Tua or Michael Penix, but they do have Bijan, and they do have Drake London, and they have Kyle Pitts, and they have a solid enough defense where they started to build up with young guys.
I think they are a playoff contender.
I think they're a bad team.
Okay.
8-9. They can go 8-9 again. I still think it's going to be a bad team. Like, it's going to look ugly.
Okay.
Because the quarterbacks. And Drake London's good, but outside of that, like, I don't love Kyle Pitts. Bijan's so good.
Yes.
But can he carry the whole team? It's hard for a running back to carry a whole team.
That's what CMC did all year last year. What?
Purdy's pretty great.
Brock Purdy was hurt half the season.
Mac Jones played okay.
I think Bijan can do it. I don't think he will need to as much as CMC did last year. And Tua loves to throw the ball to a running back.
Yeah.
So for
fantasy, I love Bijan.
So, there's that.
I just think they're going to win 7-8 games again.
But also towards the end of last year, they were kind of like, wait, what's happening over there? So maybe they continue that momentum.
Yeah. Probably not.
We're going to see.
And then the last team, the Saints, they're getting a lot of hype this year. Tyler Shough in his second year. You got Travis Etienne there. They drafted Jordan Tyson in the top 10 overall picks. Very exciting. They still have Chris Olave, which apparently he's dealing with some blood clot issues still. He missed week 18 with blood clot issues, and he's still dealing with it. So that's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Their defense is not inspiring to me. I think they're getting overhyped.
Yeah, I think they're a bad team.
I still think they're a bad team.
I think they win more games.
I think they'll be more exciting. And what did they win last year? 7 games?
6.
It was a 6?
6 and 11.
6 and 11. Yeah, I could see 7-8 wins. Even, yes, 7-8 wins is what I see. I think they'll be better than last year. They'll show more promise, but I think they're getting overhyped.
Yeah.
And I like Kellen Moore as head coach. They'll get there. They just have more to do in defense. And totally. I need to see Tyler Shough more.
I agree with you.
All right. We went through all 32 teams. You can yell at us in the comments if you disagree with where we put your favorite team. We still have a 2-minute warning where we're going to give you our prediction on which division will be the strongest in 2026. We're not going to be allowed to say the NFC West. Don't worry. We know that would be cheating.
2-minute warning.
Nycole, which division do you think is going to be the strongest this year outside of the NFC West?
Well, I feel like I always do this. I go with a gimme sometimes just for a win. But I went with the NFC North. I think all of those teams are have been consistently good, that I think depending on a few things, those teams are either going to take a giant step forward or a giant step back. And I think where they're starting as opposed to other divisions is already above some others. Therefore, whether they go up or down, I think they still overcome some other divisions. So I would go with NFC North as one of the strongest divisions.
I think that's fair. And I'm going to go with the AFC North. I'm going to go with the Browns bring it down for sure. But like last year, the best division was the NFC West, right? And the Cardinals were there and they were terrible.
True.
The Browns will be there sitting terrible. But I do think all the three of the Ravens, the Bengals, and the Steelers are playoff contenders. I think the Ravens are going to be really, really good. I think the Bengals have the opportunity to put it all together. The Steelers are always going to be competitive. So I think that division comes back to life because last year was not pretty.
Yeah, agreed.
So that division, I think, will be one of the best this year. That is it for our episode this week. We'll be back next week, hopefully happier. Maybe the Spurs win a couple games.
Hope so.
Yeah. All right. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Analyst in the Armchair. Don't forget to subscribe, follow us on socials, leave us a review, and comment to let us know what you'd like to hear next time.